Hey, it's the Chill Spot Podcast, and we're coming at you live. I dropped the beat immediately. I don't know where this is gonna go. Wow, that sucked really bad.
Whoa.
Wow, that did not go well.
I've never seen someone like do something. What are you doing?
I had a beat in my head.
For a second, Sam, I'm not gonna lie, when I was in the middle of talking, I thought you picked up your phone and just started reading a message out loud.
No.
And I was like, are you fucking joking? We're recording the podcast. Like, you
start reading my personal messages.
Yeah, you're just gonna be
loud.
like you do. Everyone does this. You pick up your phone and you read something. You're like you'll say it quietly to yourself. So you actually. I thought you were doing that, and I was like, you were honestly like 5 seconds into this podcast. Like, as soon as I start talking, just gonna check out completely. Like, not even like half an hour in.
Yeah.
Just like, I don't give a fucking shit what he's talking about, whatever.
No. Nothing like that.
You know what I was thinking about, Sam?
What were you thinking about, Cam?
What's something that you could cook on a Sunday that you could eat for like 2 days after? Like, be smart about it and still have like good meals, or even like turn into other meals.
Chicken thighs.
Yes. Yeah.
Boneless chicken thighs. Not skinless. Boneless.
No, you gotta leave the skin on.
Boneless chicken thighs with the skin on. My mom and I's favorite. This is my white side. Are you ready for this? My mom and I's favorite casserole that we make on purpose. We don't even use fucking old leftovers and like throw it into a casserole. Like, we make this casserole on purpose.
Okay.
It's chicken thighs with either cream of chicken or cream of mushroom soup. If I'm making it, it's cream of mushroom. If mom makes it, it's cream of chicken.
I'll be honest, small sidebar. Cream of chicken sounds disgusting.
Yeah, it sounds disgusting.
It sure is delicious.
But it sure is delicious.
You were saying.
It's not really good to have on its own. It's really a cooking soup.
It's kind of like
cooking wine. Like, you don't drink cooking wine.
No.
You use it to cook with.
You don't drink chicken stock.
Yeah.
You use it in shit.
You use it in shit.
Of course.
But it's chicken thighs. You can technically use whatever cut of chicken you want, but we like to use thighs.
Well, you gotta use a dark meat.
Yeah. Cream of mushroom or cream of chicken, broccoli. We used to do breadcrumbs, but then mom started putting stovetop stuffing on top, and it's like so much better. And you just let that bitch cook.
So hang on, it's chicken thighs, cream of mushroom in your case, and then stuffing on top.
Yeah.
And that's it?
Broccoli.
Oh, and broccoli.
Broccoli,
So you get some more body in there. I was about to say, that'd be a very loose casserole.
Yeah, broccoli. I would also, we don't always have this, but I would add like a pasta to it. Maybe like a pappardelle pasta in it would be really good.
Or
like
farfalle.
Like a wide pasta.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, inside of it would be really good too. We don't always get that far.
You know what would be good
Sometimes
with
it's
that?
just chicken and broccoli, but it's really good.
Pasta shells.
Maybe, yeah.
Well, you know why everyone likes pasta shells in casseroles?
Because they hold stuff.
They hold it in there.
Yeah, they hold things.
And it's, oh, God.
So good.
I'm getting horny thinking about it. I'm not
Absolutely. But yeah, that's, you make that on a Sunday and you have like a warm, hearty Sunday dinner. And they make fantastic leftovers.
Yes.
Because listen, it already looks disgusting. So you don't have to worry about like leftovers looking disgusting like the next day or even the day after that, because it already looks gross. Like, it already looks like fucking like white chicken soup. So you don't have to worry about that, but the flavor just doesn't go away.
That's good.
Like, it simply doesn't go away.
Well, you know, like in regards to what you just said, my favorite thing to do with leftovers, an approach that my family has taken this year, due to COVID and needing to be a bit more frugal.
Yeah. We're just like eating in more.
Yeah, of course. But our favorite thing to do would be like, we do what you say, like cook chicken thighs, right? We'll cook drumsticks and chicken thighs on a Sunday and just have that, like barbecue chicken thighs and drumsticks and maybe some vegetables and eat that. But then Monday morning, we'll use the chicken meat in, say, like you just said, like a casserole. Then we'll make the casserole.
Yeah.
Right? And it's really opened up an avenue to try all sorts of new things.
Right.
Like, I don't know.
You're like, I have this chicken. What can we do with this chicken?
Exactly.
And then you figure something out.
Like, even tonight, like last night we had tacos with ground chicken, because that's the only way my mom will eat it.
Yeah.
And then today we're having nachos with the ground chicken.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow, I don't know, we'll fucking figure something else.
I'm not mad that your mom's on the ground chicken and turkey tip.
It tastes the exact same.
I find that it tastes different, but it's leaner.
It's good, better for you.
It is. It's so much leaner.
Yeah.
I'm cool with it. But yeah, no, we like doing that. I mean, that is the nature of like casseroles and leftovers. Is like you have a meat and maybe you have some like some produce that you need to get rid of. So
Slap
you
it in a
slap it all
casserole.
together and you make with some pasta. You make a casserole and then you have that. But yeah, this like chicken and like cream of whatever soup mix that mom and I make, it's like we do it on purpose.
I want to try it.
And you can like sop it up with some bread.
Man, can we do that? Can we do it tomorrow on Sunday?
I can ask. I don't know that we have chicken. I can't guarantee chicken thighs
in it all the time.
I can't guarantee that we have chicken thighs. I got so mad at my mom.
Oh.
Because I had to dig through the deep freezer a couple weeks ago and found so much meat. Like so much meat. Chicken thighs, chicken breasts, chicken like drumsticks, ground beef, ribs, fucking steaks, turkey breasts, turkey drumsticks. Like so much meat that she would like buy, but she just kept buying new meat on top of it. So like that meat, like the other meat got buried in like the deep freezer.
So now it's all freezer burned and shit.
Well, you know what? I don't give a shit. Like,
well, it's just ice. Just fucking wipe it off.
It's just ice. It melts. It's fine. It'll survive. But we had so much meat. Like, we always had so much meat, and mom used to complain sometimes. She'd be like, oh, I don't have anything to, like, make anything, blah, blah, blah. Why don't we just get takeout? It was so much takeout, and we didn't have to do that. We had meat. Should have used it.
Well, I mean, I'm bad with that, too. When I was living on my own in Waterloo, I would be like, oh, I'm going to buy some apples for myself so I can have apples, and I'll put them in the crisper and, like, leave it in the fridge. And, like, 2 weeks from now, I'll be like, oh, I should buy apples. Want some apples for myself. Buy a bag of apples. Open up the crisper to, like, a bag of rotten apples.
Yeah.
And be like, oh.
So just, like, throw them out, replace
I'll just put these in here and these in the trash.
Sucks.
You ever purchase something from the grocery store and then immediately throw it in the trash?
Yeah.
I have.
Whenever I want to like treat myself to something seasonal. Oh man, peaches.
Oh yeah.
Bane of my existence. I love peaches, but I feel like the second they pass the threshold of the grocery store,
they're going bad.
You're
like, a seconds timer.
They like look at each other and they're like, okay, boys, time to self-destruct in 3, 2, 1, and then they like on the car ride home they just like decompose.
And rotten peaches have this sickly sweet smell.
Yeah.
That like just like permeates and like never goes away.
Yeah.
No, one time I may have actually sold this on the podcast before. One time I was in the chip aisle because I was fond of chips.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I could do for some dip as well. Try to find some fucking dip, right?
Yeah.
So I go to the dip part of the chip aisle, and like the Tostito stuff is there. You got your queso, you know, you got your salsa and they have like bottled dip. Guac now. Ew. But there was spinach dip.
Okay.
And I purchased it.
Yeah.
I was like, I like spinach dip. Spinach dip is delicious.
Yeah.
Tostitos queso is aight. So like, I bet this is also aight. It was the single most repulsive thing that I've ever put in my mouth.
I wonder if it would be better if you heated it up. If you made like a hot dip with it.
I guess so, but I don't know. The spinach taste was offensive.
Okay.
Like it was just like, you know when spinach gets really bitter?
Yeah.
And like,
yeah, it's like you don't, maybe it is better, but you don't want to buy it again and find out.
No, I'm not trying to fuck around and find out.
Yeah. That's fine. Spinach dip is not that hard to make anyways. It's just cream cheese and spinach.
You know what we got to make sometime, Sam? Chicken pot pies.
Yes.
You ever had a chicken pot pie?
Of course, Cameron.
Chicken pot pies are delicious.
Or shepherd's pie.
Shepherd's pie is good too.
Shepherd's pie is great.
But I think I like chicken pot pie a little bit more.
Yeah?
Because it's got like the heartier taste to it. Like I find like shepherd's pie.
Shepherd's pie is way heartier.
I disagree. I think that the chicken pot pie, like that's all I have to say. Okay. Chicken pot pie has got like more vegetables in it and it's like creamier. Whereas like shepherd's pie is like, it's like the beef and the mashed potatoes. And I don't know.
See, that's what makes it hearty to me.
But I think chicken pot pie is warmer. Like it's more wholesome. Like you eat it and like it's like eating soup and a casserole at the same time.
I mean, like, I'm not going to fight you on this because they're both delicious. We're both right.
Yeah.
You know?
We can make half a chicken pot pie and half a shepherd's pie at the same time and then eat it.
I like to try. My problem with chicken pot pie is that sometimes, like, people have varying. I like a thick interior to my chicken pot pie.
Well, obviously, yeah.
Some people make it more runny.
No, I don't want to eat a fucking soup.
I'll eat it, but I want it. It's pie. It's pie. I want it thick.
Yeah.
I want it thick and like
thick and meaty.
Don't cheap out on the chicken. Sometimes my mom buys those frozen chicken pot pies, and it's like 3 pieces of chicken and like a bunch of peas.
Right.
And it's the worst thing. Like and then it's like the weird like runny filling in the middle, and it's like nondescript, and I don't know what it is. Can you mute that fucking Discord?
I love how Discord is quiet all day.
Yeah.
And then as soon as we start recording,
when you need it to be silent.
They pop off.
It's the same thing with my phone. Whenever I start watching a video is the second the Discord pops up and it's like banner notification after banner notification, like getting in the way of my view of the video.
Yep.
And I'm just like flicking it up all the time. Like, guys, shut up. Shut up.
I know.
Yeah.
We love you in our Discord. Join our Discord. You can find the links in our link tree.
I'm in different Discords, right? So like I'm not exclusively talking about the Chill Spot podcast Discord at all.
The Chill Spot
The Chill
Discord.
Spot Discord, my apologies.
Yeah, come on, Sam. Jesus Christ. It's your fucking Discord.
Podcast. Well, we're recording the podcast right now. I'm not
You're
wrong.
in podcast mode?
I'm in podcaster mode.
You know what I haven't had of yours in a very long time?
What's that?
Your jerk chicken Alfredo.
I haven't made it in a while, no.
Very long time, yeah.
No, it's been a while. Well, because you gotta like, you gotta dice up the chicken, whatever chicken you use.
Is that it?
Chicken breast. You have to do it when it's raw, and then you have to let it marinate in the jerk sauce and seasoning, like all day.
Ideally overnight. All
day is fine too. You know, if you like cut it up at like 9 a.m.
Marinate
leave it until like 5, 6. That's a lot of time.
It's the same amount of time.
That's overnight.
That's the same amount of time.
Same amount of time. So it's like you have to think ahead. You don't have to think ahead, but it's nice to think ahead, and I want to think ahead. I also haven't had the pasta for it in a while.
Oh yeah.
I need like spaghetti or
the linguine
or fettuccine.
Or some angel hair.
I just haven't had it.
Fettuccine is great.
Yeah.
Some fucking fettuccine jerk Alfredo.
But I should make it soon.
I mean, you should make it.
My other favorite is I like to make a shrimp Alfredo, and I marinate the shrimp in olive oil, Cajun spices, and smoked paprika.
Ooh, that would be good.
Sometimes a chipotle mango seasoning from Clubhouse that my mom has.
The mango would be nice.
Yeah, it's really, really good. I love that. It turns the whole thing red, but so it doesn't look like Alfredo per se.
We hope we've made you all hungry at home. This was the point.
Talking about food again.
I could talk about food. We could do a whole podcast centered about food. I love talking about food.
Totally.
It's honestly one of my favorite things to talk about.
We could do a whole podcast where I just make you hungry.
What is your favorite thing of mine that I make for you?
I love your butter chicken mac and cheese. It's so tedious though, so I don't ask you to make it very often. It takes a really long time.
It's only tedious if I make the sauce from scratch, which I've only done once.
You make good pizza and panzerottis.
Love me a calzone. We learned a distinction that a calzone is baked in the oven and a panzerotti is deep fried.
So I guess I like your calzones.
Yeah.
Yeah, not your panzerottis.
Well, I do coat it in oil. No, it's baked in the oven.
I was going to say, you put it in the oven still. It's baking. My favorite thing of yours is your pasta aliolo.
Yes, you do love me. You love my pasta aliolo.
Yeah. I remember back when we were social distancing, you and me, like I wasn't going to your house.
Back in March.
Mom ordered Enios, and I missed you a lot, and I saw that they had pasta aliolo on the menu, and I ordered it, and it was delicious, but it wasn't like yours.
But it wasn't Cam's.
It wasn't yours.
It wasn't that Irish Scottish boy's pasta aliolo.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites.
Pasta aliolo.
One of my favorite things about pasta aliolo is that it's so simple, and it's only like 7 ingredients. You can make it in an evening for like super cheap, but it's all really dependent on the way you cook it. It's actually really funny. A couple of close friends of mine, they made pasta aliolo for one night, and they were astounded at the sheer amount of parsley you need to put in it.
Tons.
And you really do.
It makes the dish.
You really do have to put like
parsley
an astounding amount of parsley.
Yeah.
And fresh if you can get it.
Yeah.
Like fresh is better.
Yeah.
But if you can use dried, whatever.
It is. Yeah.
But you really do need like a full ass cup of parsley.
Yeah.
Like it's an insane
so
amount of
much
parsley. But it's so good, man.
Yeah, I love your pasta aliolo. And I do like the way that you make Kraft dinner. With like the sour cream and all the extras to it.
See, I haven't done that in forever. Last couple times I've made Blue Box, it's just been like by the instructions.
It's made to perfection. It totally is. Like it's mastered. But I do like it when you get crazy with the Kraft dinner.
Oh yeah, I haven't done that in ages because I don't get high during the day anymore. So I have no reason to get like fucked up crazy recipes. But yeah, what I used to do in university, my championship cooking days, I guess, would be I would make Blue Box. But Blue Box, and I still stand by this to this day, is a great way to base your mac and cheese. Like start off with it. Like you obviously it's not anything you can put in a casserole then in the oven. That's not how you're making this on the stovetop. Make the sauce up, use a different pasta. You don't even have to use the needles. You don't have to use the noodles. Use like farfalle or something, use a different kind of pasta. Mix it up, throw some cheddar in there, some mozzarella in there, make it nice and thick. My secret ingredient, like Sam just said, just a little teaspoon, tablespoon sour cream. Gives it a nice little like tasty funk. It makes it nice and like really creamy. Oh, that is great.
So good.
I nailed it once with you and that white cheddar mac and cheese, and honestly, I've never been able to nail it like that ever again.
No. Well, maybe because you haven't been using the white cheddar mac and cheese.
We made the
like, if you guys are not on the President's Choice white cheddar mac and cheese tip right now, you are missing out.
100%.
It is the best. Don't be like, oh, they don't have President's Choice. I'll just get Kraft Dinner white cheddar mac and cheese. Or I'll just get this brand. No,
President's Choice is lit.
PC white cheddar mac and cheese
is the best.
Okay,
we mixed it with Kraft Dinner.
You're not a huge Loblaws family. Like this, your household, like you're a Longo's family.
Well, we live close to a Longo's, so we typically go to Longo's.
Yeah. Not a lot of President's Choice like foods in your house, but do you have like your like top favorite President's Choice items? Because they make a lot of stuff.
We never really buy President's Choice stuff.
No,
not really.
I have like a whole.
My family has no brand loyalty whatsoever.
That's true.
Like when it comes to food,
I don't have brand loyalty either, but I just find President's Choice fascinating because they make everything from like ice cream to bleach. And
they really do. It's like No Name.
Some of their stuff, it is exactly like No Name. It's just like it's like $1 more most of the time. But sometimes they absolutely nail it, and some things they just miss the mark.
Really?
It's like, why did you go into this?
What do they fuck up?
Their potato chips are okay. I remember in our chip tier video, like I think I sung their praises a little bit. I sung the praises for the loads of all dressed potato chips.
Well, I mean, how do you fuck up all dressed? Put all of your seasoning on the chip.
Well, no, because their loads of line, it's pretty much just the all dressed that I like. I'm not like, the ketchup is okay, and the dill pickle is weird. Like the loads of creamy dill pickle, it's weird.
Don't put creamy and dill pickle in the same sentence.
I don't know, man.
Creamy is not a texture
I could see like a cool like creamy dill pickle dip.
Sure.
I can see, so like, you know, it makes sense. You want to put like the essence of a creamy dill pickle dip onto a potato chip. I get it, but it just didn't work. It didn't really work. And then they have a sour cream and onion one, which I don't touch because I don't like sour cream and onion, so I won't say anything about it.
Yeah,
but
sour cream and onion is not my favorite potato chip.
Those are the only all dressed or loads of chip flavors that they make, and pretty much the only one I like is the all dressed. But like they kind of dropped the ball on the potato chips. They make some pretty corny dishware, I'm not gonna lie.
Wait, what? You can get like President's Choice like dishware?
Yeah, there's some good President's Choice dishware. It's like kind of classy. You know, they have like bamboo stuff and they have some really nice ceramic dishes. But like some of their like summer, like some of their seasonal stuff, like tablecloths and like seasonal like plastic dishware, like the little plastic cups that you get in the summertime that are like electric blue and like neon yellow and like neon orange and stuff. Okay. So shitty. So shitty. Probably loaded with BPA.
You're drinking plastic.
Their orange juice is iffy. Like
I don't like orange juice.
I'm bouncing around products here, but their orange juice is just okay.
Yeah. Do they make
still like really can't beat Tropicana? Like you really can't.
Well, I mean, I feel like there's brands out there. I mean, like okay, it's also worth noting that us as Canadians, like we don't have as many brands as like Americans do.
Yeah.
Americans have like an insane amount of choice for anything.
Yeah.
Canada, it's more
wonder
like
you get anything done.
Canada is more like you have 4 choices and there's the best, most expensive one.
Yeah.
And then there's the middling one, and there's the ones you don't buy.
Yeah.
Like you buy like
straight up bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's a cheese brand that I've never been fond of. The big ones in Canada is Black Diamond.
Yeah, Cracker Barrel.
Kraft. Slices, you mean?
No, Kraft makes like blocks.
Bars, bricks of cheese?
Yep, they make blocks.
Any good?
Never had it before.
See, I don't trust Kraft.
Oh, and there's No Name. And President's Choice also makes cheese.
I think I've had a No Name cheese before that really was just like...
Mom buys a lot of No Name cheese. I can't tell the difference, to be honest.
Maybe it's not No Name then. There was a specific brand that obviously I'm blanking on that was really like I had it and I was like, really? This is cheese? It's disgusting. I don't know.
It was kind of poo-poo.
Do you hate Kraft slices?
Yeah.
Me too.
I hate processed cheese.
Yeah, I really can't do it.
I'm trying to think. The only time it's ever really good, sometimes Mom will steam broccoli and then like just as it's fresh out of the pot,
layer
like
some cheese on top of it.
Put some Kraft slices on top of it, and that's not too bad.
It's okay on burgers, but I feel like if you're gonna put Kraft singles on a burger,
burgers I can take it, but I also need the burger to also be hot.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, here's my beef with the Kraft singles is that it's not a flavorful cheese.
No.
So you put it on your burger, like why?
Yeah.
Put something you're gonna taste on.
It's a texture thing.
It makes it creamier. Like,
Yeah.
I get it. Like, I get it. But at the same time, I don't know,
But
bro.
again, you have to get the timing so right. And even then, like, I almost wish they made them round instead of square so that it would cover the entire patty instead of having it sticking out. Because, like, when I bite into, like, when it's summertime, your dad's making burgers, I put my cheese on my burger, and like, there's a little bit of corner that's sticking out. You get just, like, raw processed cheese.
Yeah.
And then, like, and then, like, a couple bites in, you start getting the creamy inside. And you're like, okay, I'm here, I made it. Kind of wish I didn't have to go through that bullshit in the beginning, though.
Kind of wish you didn't have to fucking suffer eating this burger.
Yeah, that kind of
That's what you sound like when you say shit like that. Like, the first bite was awful, but I'm fine now. It's cool. Whatever.
first world problems to the max.
Totally.
God, it's such a science to it.
As far as processed cheese go, there's only one processed cheese that I'll really enjoy, and I don't eat it often, is Cheese Whiz.
Nope, you lost me.
I know you don't like Cheese Whiz.
You lost me.
I like Cheese Whiz.
I'm out.
Me and my dad.
I fucking hate you.
We like Cheese Whiz. It's because Cheese Whiz.
And then me and your mom just sit there going like, how do you eat that garbage?
Every time I take a bite, I'm shaving off a year of my life. Like, I know, but it's worth it.
I remember back when I was working for the grocery shopping service.
You could say it now. You don't work there anymore.
I don't know. Because I talk shit about I can really ream it out.
Yeah.
So I don't want to risk it.
Let's not.
But when I was working for it, I was picking Cheese Whiz for a customer one time, and the program had the audacity to ask me to check the expiry date. And I was like, fuck you, this is Cheese Whiz. Are you kidding me? This stuff is straight out of Chernobyl. Absolutely not. I will not check the before date on this. I refuse.
They took the jar and dipped it into the elephant's foot in Chernobyl, and that's what Cheese Whiz is.
And you know what? That was the only time that I ever was like, this is stupid. I'm not doing this. You're wrong. I'm right.
Yeah.
I don't care if I'm actually wrong about this.
No.
Cheese Whiz is already a garbage product. I don't give a fuck about its expiry date. I'm taking my extremely personal views on this and applying it to this consumer right now.
There you go.
I'm
just like a politician.
Sorry. Yeah. I will be Donald Trump on this one.
Yeah.
Listen, like,
okay,
I'm right and you're wrong.
I'm telling you right now.
Just damn the science.
Cheese Whiz doesn't have an expiry date. It has a shelf date.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it's not going to expire. They just can't sell it past this date.
I certainly don't need to check it. Like, I don't need to check it. Absolutely not.
If I go upstairs and check right now.
You store this at room temp. Like, fuck off.
Yeah, it's also sealed.
Yeah.
If I go upstairs right now, I guarantee that Cheese Whiz expires like 2 years from now.
Oh, yeah, the I for shits, I looked at the expiry date and it was like 2023.
Yeah,
and
you're
I was
fine.
Like, yeah, okay, fine.
And this was years ago.
But, like, get the fuck out of here.
No, yeah. I just last time I bought Cheese Whiz, it was only a year from expiring, and that's just too close for me.
You don't think you can finish this like 250 milliliter jar of Cheese Whiz by 2021? Fuck you.
No, my kids need the freshest Cheese Whiz, okay? It needs the freshest Cheese Whiz.
Oh, okay. You need the freshest Cheese Whiz for your child, but you'll still let your child eat Cheese Whiz? That's a bit of an oxymoron there, lady. I'm gonna need you to back the fuck up there, mate.
You can put Cheese Whiz.
Get out of here with that crap.
You can put Cheese Whiz in Blue Box and like mix it together, and it makes like a lovely little cheese sauce.
Yeah, it's like you can make it creamier that way. That's one way I might eat Cheese Whiz.
I think you might have actually. I think I've done that and just not tell you.
Yeah, if you wanted to like add it, fuck you.
I mean, Sam, listen. If I'm cooking the meal, I'm not obligated to let you know what's in it.
Yes, you are. That's an ethics. That is an ethics question.
That is not an ethics violation.
Do I need to tell the people that I'm feeding what I put into their food? Probably.
No. Does it taste good? Then eat it.
Like what if there's an allergy? What if there's a sensitivity?
Okay, but that's shit I would ask beforehand.
Excuse me.
I'm a responsible home chef.
You still need to let people know.
No. I'm not obligated to let you know. I'm obligated. I'll let you know if you ask. I would never lie.
That's really ignorant.
But
and now I don't trust you so much anymore with my food. I trust you a little bit less now.
You'll eat my food and love it, and that's it.
I don't know about that anymore.
No?
I would have said yes like 20 minutes ago, but
I've sullied you.
Yeah. Now that I know that, every single spoonful, it's going to
taste like Cheese Whiz. I'll make you a bowl of cereal. You put Cheese Whiz in this? Is there Cheese Whiz in this Frosted Flakes?
Did you put Cheese Whiz in my Lucky Charms, Cameron? I swear to God.
I'm like, no, I didn't.
It makes the milk creamier.
Mushrooms and cheese, or marshmallows and cheese, dude.
Hear about it.
You know, dude, next time you're eating something, Sam, next time you mean like a bowl of cereal at your house, I'm just going to walk over with a spoon and a dollop of Cheese Whiz, just right in your bowl.
I will. I'll murder you.
I think you would actually get really mad. Well, you would get mad at me for wasting food.
Yeah, exactly. I'd be like, Cam, like, you knew I wasn't going to eat this. Now I have to throw out food.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Well,
man,
you could
working
eat
at a
it.
grocery store,
Stop
you
being a
see
baby.
so much food waste. It's really upsetting.
Well, let's not talk about it.
I guess. I remember like I used to be.
Let's talk about it then.
I used to be friends with the meat guy at the meat counter, and I saw him throwing out all of the quote unquote expired meat. It wasn't expired. It was just like one
past
day
shelf
after.
date, yeah.
And they had put the 50% off sticker on it like the night before and like didn't want to leave it out on the shelf the day after. Because it looks bad, but it's like not bad. And I just saw him like with a giant garbage like
bag.
A giant like one of the industrial size waste bins. Just like chucking like sausages and ground beef and patties.
They can't donate that shit? Like they have to throw it out?
You know, like maybe a soup kitchen could use that, you know? Like I know you don't want to give it to the food bank because like when is it going to get cooked? When is it going to get taken?
I guess there's also ethical issues of like, let's just give the homeless, the poories, the expired meat.
Yeah. It's not expired though. Like it's still eaten. It's still edible and it's like very fine to eat.
Right.
Fucking Becky with her like upper middle class like, you know, gel manicure could pick this up and eat it if she really wanted to, but she's not going to because she's a priss bag. So like, you know, it's not so much like, oh, well, we'll just give it to the poories over here. No, it's like, it's good enough to eat. And so we should give this to somebody who's going to appreciate it.
Right,
you know,
right.
Like, God, if Becky with the good hair is not going to eat it, then maybe somebody else will, you know? I almost like the poor people better because they can appreciate using something for all that it's worth.
Totally.
That's more worthwhile to me.
Use the whole part.
If that's what being poor is, then like I'll gladly be poor.
If we owned animals, I'd make a point to like use every part of it.
Yeah.
Because you have to. Waste not, want not.
Yeah.
You can make chicken stock with chicken feet. I'm sure it's delicious.
Absolutely.
People in Vietnam do it all the time.
Yeah.
I think Singapore. People in Singapore do it all the time.
Yeah. And what's the thing about that is that like it's often people of color who figure out ways to use the scraps of an animal because like they're the ones who have to make do. White people come in, lay waste to their lands, make them eat like shit, and then
I don't want the icky gooey pig snout. Ooh,
so much of Southern comfort food is like recipes that were passed down from like slavery because slave masters would just like give the slaves shitty leftovers or whatever they didn't eat at the table, and that's where you get like ham hocks and like collard
greens,
liver, like stuff that uses the liver and the kidneys of an animal and stuff like that. It's all the shit that like white people thought they were too good for.
Right.
And then we just like made really good food out of it. And now
lo and behold, it's what everyone wants to eat.
Know, yeah, exactly. Fucking Patricia wants soul food now.
Patricia.
It's horse shit.
We should definitely do. We've been talking about this for years, but now that this has become the food episode, we should definitely, when COVID is all over, do a food road trip. Like rent an RV, pick restaurants around like Canada and the States, and just drive from one to the other.
Out. Yeah,
a big food tour.
Do like a sea serpent, like up and down and up and down and up and down. I guess it's more like a roller coaster. Sea
serpent works too.
Yeah.
A Loch Ness food monster.
Imagine like old timey pictures of sea serpents, how they're like up and down and up and down and up and down.
And I feel like that's like the RV would be ideal for that because you're not paying for hotels every stop.
Yeah.
You know, you're in your RV. RVs are pretty nice nowadays.
Yeah.
You'd have to pick like 4 people to go with too. You couldn't go with like 6 people.
No.
You're too crowded.
I think 4 people is a lot, to be honest, in an RV. Yeah.
Would you want to do just you and I?
I know a bunch of your brother's friends did that. And like they're super tight and
it
worked out for them. But like I feel like if I pulled them aside and was like, hey guys, like
did it get
be
crowded?
honest with me. On the way back, was it not a little bit like I need some space from these guys? Like, did you not just like sit in your home afterwards and just like enjoy having space? They would probably say yes.
Would you want to go just you and I? We rent like a smaller RV?
I mean, like I would never say no to spending time alone with you. Like never, ever, ever. But
of course,
if we were to do it with friends, I would say like 2 other friends max.
So 4 people max.
Maybe do like another couple.
Oh, that would be fun.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. I like that idea.
Like a double date road trip. The longest double date ever.
We'd have to pick a couple we really like, though.
Yeah.
And we don't like all of our couple friends. Shit, I'm kidding. It was a joke. That was a joke, everyone.
I don't know.
I was only kidding. I love all of our couple friends.
He's joking. I'm not. No, I'm just
kidding.
I
made 2 promises to myself that I can no longer uphold because of COVID. One was that whenever I go to a restaurant and really enjoy the food, I'm going to take a picture of it. I want to start documenting good food that I eat so I can remember it and like keep it for ideas when I want to make something. Other thing was to spend more time with couples. And we can't do that anymore.
That sucks.
You know?
Why? Why? Why did you want to spend more time with couples?
I don't know, because double dates are fun. And
I remember when we first started dating, you said that you didn't like double dates.
Yeah. For reasons like, okay, I mean, this has been a long time, and when high school was the time that I spent a lot of my time in double dates with, and this is not a comment on my girlfriend at the time, nor is it a comment with the people that I would spend time with. It's more commentary on like being a teenager and like the atmosphere of being a teenager. I found a lot of double dates that I went on in high school to be competitive.
Okay.
In a way.
Okay.
Like there was a lot of like someone does something nice, so the other person has to like up the ante.
Yeah.
And like, you know, it was always this like social hierarchy competition that I just really didn't enjoy.
Yeah.
And I held on to that for a long time, and obviously I've let it go because fuck, what am I supposed to do? Be angry about something that I did when I was 16?
Yeah.
Like
fair.
no.
Fair.
So I've come around on the idea. I'm friends with a lot more mature people, and I'm sure those people that I went on those double dates with at the time are far more mature now too.
Yeah.
And don't feel the same way they did back then, just like me.
Totally.
So, yeah. When we first started dating, I was kind of like,
I mean, like, that's why I never bring it up, because you told me that and I remember it. So I just, like, never breached the topic.
Right.
But yeah, no, I would love to, like, go on more double dates with some of our friends who are in relationships.
It doesn't even have to be, like, labeled, like, take the stamp, like, this is a double date. Like, no, let's just go to the movies with our friends.
Yeah.
Who are fucking.
Don't. So crass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to go on a fuck friends hangout? Yeah, fuck double date. That's what we're calling it from now on.
It's fuck friends night. Fuck friends night out.
Oh, Cameron Sam, those are some kinky shit. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Our friends just like always feel like we're on the verge of asking them to like wife swap or whatever. God. What a bad idea.
What, wife swapping?
What is the point? What
do
was
you
the point
mean?
of that show?
Did
you ever watch that show, Wife Swap? Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the act of like two couples who are horny and into it get together and do a wife swap. I was like, yeah, if everyone's consenting, that's their own bag.
No, I'm talking about the show Wife Swap, where like two wives like lived in each other's houses and like experienced the other person's lifestyle for like a week. It's like, why?
But they see, okay, it's funny, right? Because I've never watched the show, but I have seen the pornography. Which I guess makes a little bit more sense when you throw in the idea.
You know, I'm the other way around. It's so funny that you say that.
Yeah, right? I've never seen the show. What's the show like?
I did not watch Wife Swap pornography. No, Wife Swap was it was a reality show where they would take two polar opposites.
Right.
And take the wives out of the house and make them switch houses for like a week.
And like the idea was the wife just would do what she did in the other house in this new house.
They would see what the other person's life was like, and they were strangers. It wasn't like
they weren't even friends.
No, they were.
What perspective
strangers.
could you possibly get? Like, okay, this show seems doomed to fail from the start.
Oh, it totally was. It was such a bad idea.
It makes sense why the porn makes more sense.
The one episode got super memed back in the early internet days because this like super nutso futso crazy evangelical Christian woman went to just like your average like middle class household. Like they weren't atheists. They weren't like Satanists or anything like that.
But they weren't evangelicals either.
They were what's the word?
Agnostic?
No. Not separatist. Secular. Non-secular?
Does that mean they're not the same religion?
They didn't incorporate religion into their lives. They didn't go to church, not for any specific reason.
Keep
just
talking. Keep talking. Just
because they didn't go to church and they didn't want to, and they didn't say grace before dinner, and the super religious wife obviously hated it, and she got home and freaked out at her family like hardcore. Like she was not a Christian. Whoa. They were Christian, and got like super wide-eyed and like screamed at her kids, and she was like, "Why didn't you pray for me?" Like freaked out and like
Jesus.
Yelled. And her family was like, "Mom, like we just had," and like the other, like they got along fine with the non-religious wife. They were like, "Yeah, so like we're religious, we go to church," and she was like, "Oh, that's not really my thing in my household, but like I respect it," and stuff like that.
Like a fucking normal person.
And they got along. And then the religious mom came home and she was like, "Ah!" And the kids were like, "Mom, like,
wait, so
we're sorry that you're upset, but like."
The other mom was mad that the religious mom was mad that the non-religious mom didn't go to church?
No, the religious mom was mad that her family didn't like pray her way out of the non-religious household. She felt like she was in a house of heathens because they didn't like say grace and go to church.
But aren't the families kept separate on purpose?
Why didn't God come save me out of this horrible situation? Why did I just have to go an entire week in a non-religious household? And
like
they weren't Christian, and it
was
so scary. Why didn't any of you come save me, or why didn't you come and like pray me out of there?
Wow.
And they were like, Mom.
Where do they find these people?
It was so. I think that was the moment when we all realized that Wife Swap was like a fucked up like scripted TV show.
Well, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So that like I'm not even trying to equate that to being like a crazy Christian. Like you're just like an upset person.
Yeah.
Like
you are just an upset person.
Like you have some issues, lady. Like go to therapy.
I mean, it was the early days of reality TV when it was just like
probably told her to ham it up.
Just so clearly scripted. Just like unabashedly just blown way out of proportion, trying to get the most crazy reactions out of people to make headlines sort of deal.
Right.
So this lady just like turned it up to 11. Obviously a producer was in her ear like,
well, naturally.
Hey,
that's how all TV works.
It's like I need you to go all the way crazy. Like I need you to go like balls to the walls on this. Please yell at your family.
Please yell at your family.
Please yell at your family.
People will watch if you yell at your family.
We're trying to get ratings.
You know what? I'm not even mad about it anymore.
Yeah.
Whatever. That's the way it is. Is it entertaining?
Exactly.
Great. That's what you're here for.
Exactly. As long as everybody knows what's going on and that it's
I
not
don't
real
eat a bag of potato chips and I'm like, what about the breadth of flavor? What about the depthness of the salt? Like, no, I'm just eating a fucking bag of potato chips. When I turned on RuPaul's Drag Race, which like, granted has a lot more depth than I ever could have imagined.
Yeah.
I'm not like, yes, this is the fucking caviar of television right here. Yeah. No, RuPaul's Drag Race is like the nicer bag of potato chips. Yeah. It's like the Tostitos dusted. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like the kiss of lime Tostitos.
Yeah.
Of TV.
I don't know where you were going with that one just there.
What do you mean?
RuPaul's Drag Race is like the epitome of camp.
Well, I think we're on I'm saying it's like, it's not like fucking Breaking Bad or something.
Yeah, okay. I thought you were equating it to like...
It's nicer junk food.
When you say that it's like hint of lime Tostitos, like we ranked hint of lime Tostitos as like S tier potato chips.
Yeah,
so like...
But it's still potato chips.
I guess.
It's not a filet mignon.
I guess.
It's fucking Tostitos.
I guess. I think that there is something to be learned from RuPaul's Drag Race.
Of course there
ultimately.
is.
I think that there are really good TV lessons to be learned in there, and like... It gets called, the fact that it gets called reality TV is like almost a joke in and of itself. It's a joke. Bit. It's a joke that everybody on that show is in on.
Yeah, especially RuPaul.
I don't mind calling it a joke because it's not insulting because they know.
Well,
they know that, you know, they get their personalities each season and then they start seeing how they're interacting with each other and then they start plotting. It's not so much like, here's how this season is going to play out. They're like, okay, what do we have this season?
Yeah.
Okay, so Willem is willing to be a complete and total bitch. So like,
season 4, by the way.
Let's just make her the most hated person of the entire season. Oh, Fifi O'Hara's over there throwing shades. Like maybe that's like season 2. I forget who were the two. I think it was Raven and somebody else were in like a rivalry. So like Raven was being a bitch, the other person was being a bitch, and then Tyra was being a bitch. But Raven and the other person's drama was like developing more. Right. So you can tell at one point the producers just told Tyra like, hey, like
shut up.
You can stop. You can cut it with the bitch act right now. We're gonna go with Ravens. Yeah, if you cut it out right now, we'll give you the dub. If you just like stop being a bitch and let this Raven plotline play out. Please.
That's the one thing. I gotta say, well, yes, they definitely attract to plot lines and they definitely develop drama because it's interesting. I don't think whoever wins is fixed. I think that's genuinely like earned, that's the part where the competition actually matters.
Yes.
There was only one bullshit kickoff, and that was in the first season with I don't remember her name.
The winner, you mean?
No, like so there's someone who's kicked off early who like definitely should not have been kicked off. I believe she was Puerto Rican. It doesn't matter. The point is, there's like most of the time when RuPaul kicks someone off,
yeah,
it's like they deserve to get kicked off.
Yeah.
Burner bitches, as we call them.
Yeah, Cam. I don't know if Cam coined the term per se, but he definitely started in our household. He started using the term burner bitches for like.
It's the bitches who get kicked off in episode 1 and 2.
Yeah, well, I just remember because we just finished our first All-Star season, like All-Star season 1, and like we were worried because we were like, Cam, like these are all, you know, like champs, like people who were good on their respective drag race seasons. So like it's gonna suck from the jump to see people get kicked off. And then Mimi first showed up and we were like, oh,
there she is.
There's the burner bitch.
Yep.
There's the burner bitch.
And then the teams, and I was like, oh, you're trying to sink talented people.
Yes.
I gotta be honest with you.
That was insulting.
With this whole RuPaul Drag Race, like learning about drag and like watching the show, and I know that he's not perfect, but I gotta say that RuPaul is fucking hilarious.
So funny.
He's so funny, dude.
Oh my God. Such a talented comedian. And actually, like, I didn't get to watch the whole episode because I don't have cable, but he hosted SNL, I want to say last year.
Okay.
Kind of earlier on.
Yeah.
But his sketches are fucking hilarious.
I'm sure he is. Yeah.
Oh my God. There's a sketch where he plays like he plays like a highway cop, and he pulls over Pete Davidson, and like the one cop is being serious and he's like getting kind of kinky with it.
Okay.
So like the one cop is like, okay, reach your hand out, touch your nose, and then RuPaul goes, okay, now lick it and make a sizzle. And Pete Davidson has to like do the like
that's really
on
funny.
his butt. Oh my God, it's so funny.
Well, something I love
He's so funny.
Well, something I love about RuPaul in the regards of him being funny is like I really appreciate someone who's so like prim and put together and like very obviously concerned with his image and like not negatively. I don't mind you. I'm not trying to be like, oh, he's so concerned with his image, but like he's such a pretty man, but he's so not afraid to make fun of himself.
Oh yeah,
and
absolutely.
I really appreciate that.
Like, and this, you know what? This is something that I love about the craft of drag as a whole, is that being in drag, it can be high femme.
Sure.
But you're never too delicate to do anything.
It's kind of silly when you think about it.
You can get silly. You can be kicked off your pedestal a little bit. It can be raw. It can be real. It can be dirty. It can be raunchy. And I love that. I love that you can take a pretty queen like Raven, who is just like so like jawline that could cut glass, like so sleek and chic and real, and like make her dig through a trash can.
Yeah, sure.
And she'll do it. Mm-hmm. You know, like that was growing up. My issue with really, really feminine things was that I never wanted to be like chained down in any sort of way.
Right.
Like
if you were femme, you can't be dirty.
Exactly. I didn't like wearing dresses to school because I would have recess and then I would go out and play. I would want to play. All my friends were playing soccer. There was like an entire school year where all we did at recess was play soccer.
Soccer was in.
An entire school year.
Grade 6 to 8? Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine if I wore a dress once?
Yeah.
I just wouldn't be able to play with my friends. And I never wanted to be there. And like, when all my friends started wearing makeup, I was like, okay, but like if you wear makeup, like you can't touch your face, rain and wind, like the elements all of a sudden become your enemy and it's a problem. You can't even like rest your hand on your face because you could like smudge your eyeliner, or like your eyeshadow will like move, like migrate all over your face and stuff.
Sure.
Like, when you like high femininity and like heels, you know, like heels, you can't walk and run the same way that you normally do unless you're a superstar. Which is totally real, and I totally respect that. But that comes with time, like so much time. And I just never wanted to be held down by my fashion choices. But in drag, like, you can have the makeup on, you can have the dress on, you can have the complicated pieces, but you can still like a drag queen will still go out in the rain and let her makeup run down her face, and it's still a look.
Yeah,
and still, you know, like you can be high femme and be destructible, and it's not the end of the world. You're still standing tall. You still look great. Your personality shines through, and you just fucking rock it. Like you just roll with the punches. You know, you can be high femme in drag, but still roll with the punches, and I love that so much about it.
Well, so many drag queens at the end of the day still stand by the fact that, I mean, this is not all of them, mind you, but most of them, in my opinion, stand by the fact that they're dudes. Like, yeah they might be gay, but they're still like male, and like they understand that performing masculinity comes from a place of trying to understand that I said masculinity.
Femininity?
Performing femininity comes from a place of understanding your own masculinity. Like it's like the notion that in order to understand comedy, you have to understand what makes people sad.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like those two things are weirdly connected.
Yeah.
But my favorite thing about drag queens, I realized this the other day when they were doing that street performance thing in All Stars 1, is that a lot of drag queens, even though performing high femme, they had some of them really pass, there's still dudes with high heels on, which makes them like
Gigantic.
7'8" monsters, which I never quite caught on before because RuPaul is so tall.
Yeah.
So you just think it's like watching basketball and you think like, oh, that's short. That guy's real. Like Kyle Lowry is real short.
Yeah.
Kyle Lowry is like 6'2".
6 feet tall. Yeah. Yeah.
Kyle Lowry is my height.
Yeah.
Like he's a tall guy.
Yeah, it's just everyone else around him is like 7'8".
Yeah, like real tall.
Yeah.
Which I've never quite clocked. And I think that is so funny.
Yeah.
Like it's just such a funny thing to realize.
They're so big. They're physically like
they're
so
Amazonian.
imposing.
Quite
Yeah.
literally the definition of Amazonian.
Oh, it's amazing.
Totally.
It's amazing. But I didn't realize that I did have like a really deep respect for the craft of drag.
Yeah.
I know that drag isn't perfect. Some of our LGBTQ plus friends have pointed out some of the more problematic aspects of drag, especially our trans friends.
Like what?
There's a lot of transphobia and mistreatment of trans folks,
especially in Drag Race.
In the drag community.
Are
Yes.
you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, slurs all over the place.
And like,
we're on All Stars season 1. We have watched 4 seasons and 1 All Stars, and they are still doing that she-male bit.
Yeah.
Like, I thought, I know that they drop it eventually, but I didn't think it would take so long. They really held on to it, and the T-slur was in the theme song for this season, like the All Stars season.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Like, and they're calling each other like T-slurs in the workroom and stuff. Like,
they don't see the harm in it, right? Like, and I'm not. That's not a defense.
And I understand that it was a different time, but that different time was so up until recently.
I mean, Drag Race is a newer show.
Yeah.
Like, it's been away for like 10 years now, but like newer.
10 years is pretty young. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's just me because, it started during my lifetime, so I don't see it as like old. Like, I guess 10 years is a very long running show.
It is.
And I gotta give it that. But
12 years. They have 13 seasons. So yeah.
Yeah. And like numerous spinoffs. We're not even talking about like Drag UK, Canada, all that stuff.
Are you interested in watching any of those?
Yeah, sure. But I might save the different countries for last.
Yeah. Is RuPaul involved in those ones?
Maybe in a producing aspect, like behind the scenes, but he doesn't host Drag Canada.
No, I noticed that. He's not in the. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
That was one of the big things because RuPaul has been
hates Canadians.
No, he's been such a problematic figure in the gay community for so long. Like, some people love him, but a lot of people point out how deeply problematic he's been in the past.
For sure.
And when Drag Race Canada came out, it was very well received. And people were like, see, you can have Drag Race without all of the problematicness of RuPaul inside of it. And you don't miss it. You really don't miss it. Which will be interesting to see when we eventually watch it. It's not going to be for a long time.
So we have lots of Drag Race to watch.
We're on season 6 now. But
season 5.
Season 5, yes, thank you. But yeah, like, it's not without its issues, but just the craft of drag. Like, the fact that one
artistry.
person knows how to style their own wigs, do their own makeup, make their own clothes. Those are usually in the heterosexual world. Those are just like
teams.
You pick one.
Yeah, teams.
You are good at hair, or are you good at makeup, or are you good at clothes?
A team of people will go on one model,
or maybe you're good at 2, but not the third. Drag queens are good at all 3 of them. Or a good drag queen is at least. Like someone like Chad Michaels, who's like established and such a pro.
Love me some Chad Michaels.
Like hair, makeup, clothes. He sews, he designs, he styles his own wigs. Actually, you know what? Well, he can sew, but I know that his partner makes a lot of his outfits.
Well, who cares? Whatever, yeah.
But like, he can sew. Mm-hmm. And his own makeup, like, does his own makeup looks. Like, it's impeccable. Like, that is such a knowledge set.
Well, so much of drag is like pull up by your bootstraps and like do it yourself, right? And I think that has a lot to do with the adversity that they faced as a culture.
Yeah.
Like, would you say that drag is a counterculture?
It's a subculture.
We talked about this before, I think.
I think certain drag queens might build the argument that it's a counterculture, because counterculture, like, it exists in opposition
despite
to
of a culture. Yeah.
in opposition to something else. So I think that
what would it counter,
if there were a drag queen here or a drag king also, they like somebody might try and build the argument that they are a counterculture, and I would get on board with that pretty easily. It wouldn't take much convincing for me. But as two straight people who don't do drag, let's just call it a subculture for now.
We don't know enough about it.
Yeah.
We've watched 5 seasons and 2 shows of Drag Race. We're here talking like we're the fucking sports board.
Exactly.
Like we're Shaquille O'Neal talking about basketball.
It is such a sport though.
It is, it really is.
Like, oh my God, your dad came downstairs because a couple times now he's come downstairs while we're watching it.
He's like, Cameron, what's this gay shit? He didn't say that.
Like low key though.
He didn't say that.
No, he didn't say that.
He did not say that.
Say that, but like you can tell when he asks about it, he's kind of like,
he's a little confused.
What's this gay shit?
He doesn't get it, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't get it.
Yeah, he doesn't get it. So he's
but
like,
he did not say, I want to make that perfectly clear. That was a joke.
No.
That was a joke, everyone.
No.
Okay.
But he was like, no, guys, seriously, like, what is it about this show? And I was like, Tom, it's like amateur wrestling.
It is,
or
in
it's
a
like
way.
pro wrestling, I should say. It's like wrestling in the sense that, like, there are characters and there are character tropes. You know, every season has a villain or a heel. Every season has a hero. Every season has an underdog. Every season has, you know, somebody who doesn't do super well, but you root for them anyways. You know,
they
like
improve.
a good
They
sport.
improve.
Yeah, like a most improved.
Or they
sort of
don't
deal.
and they get kicked off.
Yeah. You know, like they have their forgettable characters and stuff like that. And it's fascinating.
It really is.
And you really can't talk about it. Our group chat, like we talk about it like it's a sport. We're like, okay, so like, you know, Latrice gave Jiggly Caliente the health and fitness, magazine cover for that one challenge. Like, what do you think was the motive on that? And we all have our different takes on it and like tell each other like what we think about it. And it sounds like sports commentary.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, sports commentators, but we sound exactly like you when we talk about Drag Race.
Do you think that it's giving you some
sport.
perspective on sports? Like, do you think that you maybe understand?
No, I already, because like I was following basketball before.
That's
this,
true.
Right?
We've gone, because I think you and I,
that.
when we first started dating, we're kind of like sports ball.
Yeah.
Like it's a sport. Like,
oh yeah, no, I like to watch the game.
Yeah.
I like to watch the ball go from one end to the other.
I hope my team is winning the game.
Yeah.
But no, now I think we just like sports.
I like some sports.
I like basketball.
I like
Basketball's
basketball.
fun.
I don't mind keeping up with hockey, actually.
I enjoy hockey quite a bit. I like watching hockey. I'll be honest with you. I don't have the time. I'm not as much as a sports fan as my friends are.
No.
But I liked having those conversations with. You know what I like doing? I like asking my friends hardball questions and seeing them answer it.
Yeah.
I like being like, okay, so why is this guy an asshole?
Yeah.
And like watch like Cole and Brad get into a fight or something.
Yeah.
I like throwing fuel on the fire.
Yeah, but then I kind of start to form my own opinions on it from there. Like, this season was really tough for me because Pascal Siakam fell off so hard.
He really did.
He had a really rough season towards the end of it.
He had a rough playoff.
And it was just interesting to see, you know, the public sports perception. They were kind of like, what's going on with Pascal Siakam? Like, what's going on, man?
He drank his own Kool-Aid, man. He bought his own hype.
He fell off. I don't know if that's it. But Brad was so mad at Pascal Siakam. And
He's a right to be mad.
Listen, and Cole got really mad. Like, Cole wasn't like super, he didn't know how he was playing until we watched the
was it my birthday, the game?
It was your birthday.
Yeah.
I think that was when they finally lost to Boston and got kicked out.
I think it was the final match.
And like Cole didn't know how badly Siakam had been playing, and by the end of the game, Cole was like, "I hate Siakam, man. I hate him. Well, okay. I hate him. Take him out. And they were being really fucking mean.
Well, not for anything, Sam, but okay, not to talk basketball all of a sudden. Nick Nurse really should have pulled Siakam.
Yeah.
Why was he on the court in the fourth quarter?
Oh, totally.
Like, come on.
Totally.
He's been fucking up in the first 2 minutes. He fucked up.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Give him a quarter. Let him figure it out. But then he fucked up the second quarter. Put him on the bench.
Yeah.
Why is he on the court?
No, I agree that he should have sat, but like our friends were like being mean about it.
Well, that's sports for you, man. That's culture.
It's so interesting.
We get pretty ruthless watching Drag Race and the baking show.
That's true.
I mean, like,
we talked a lot of shit, and then during baking show, and then when we had to like make a simple treacle tart, we were like, no.
Where can I do it?
Yeah. Meanwhile, like, you know, in baking show, they're like, oh well, my choux pastry didn't work out, so I'm gonna have to start all over again. And it's like, oh, that's so hard.
You just whipped it up, like, again?
Yeah.
Or like in fucking Drag Race, like, God bless Shangela, but she comes out in some shit that is like rough. And like we would chirper and be like, what the fuck are you wearing?
Yeah.
Like either of us can even sew anything.
Yeah,
I couldn't make a pair of socks.
I know.
Let alone like make a whole outfit and coordinate your makeup and hair.
That's true.
And you're also a guy trying to look like a woman.
Yeah, trying to look like a completely different person.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Sam,
so,
do you want to go watch Drag Race right now?
I would love to. Is it that time?
It is.
Hell yeah. Let's go watch some Drag Race right now.
All right. Well, listen, we'll be back with more whatever the fuck we're talking about, whenever we talk about.
We really jumped all over the place on that one.
No, we actually kept it pretty solid this week. We talked about food and making food.
Yeah.
And then we talked about wife swap. And then we talked about Drag Race. Yeah. And then mixed in some sports, and here we are.
Yeah.
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 So this is actually not a very scattered podcast.
Well, I think it's scattered, but I think it's scattered in like it's a potpourri.
There you go.
If I may
say so. A little potpourri.
It's a podcast potpourri.
And if you like us, you can catch us next week on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, or YouTube. This Chill Spot podcast goes up every Tuesday at 3 p.m. on YouTube. Always a little bit earlier on streaming services. If you like us so much, you can always follow us at Twitch, twitch.tv/chillspot.
Yeah,
You can find all of this info in our link tree in the links below.
Yeah,
Be sure to like this video and leave a comment if you really, really liked it.
Yeah.
If you didn't like it, dislike it. I don't give a fuck.
Nuh-uh.
Hey, listen,
like us 100% of the time or do nothing.
Listen, if you disliked us, like us anyway.
It's very black and white here.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, we're here for bias, people. All right, guys. We'll see you all next week.
Love y'all. Stay safe.
Bye.
Bye.